The Western nations have ruled the world for a very long period. However, things are beginning to shift, and the BRICS nations have recently declared the establishment of a new global order. The Western powers, who have dominated for a long time, have suffered a severe blow. The nations that make up the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, have been opposing Western methods of doing things. They are become increasingly influential in global politics and the economy. Recent data indicates that the BRICS nations are growing in significance. They currently account for about half of the world's population and 25% of its economy. This implies that they will have significant influence over how the world develops. First of all, the term BRICS was used by some individuals to refer to a group of economically prosperous nations. However, these nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are now beginning to form coalitions to reach critical choices as a group. They are not interested in merely copying the actions of other large corporations. The notion that these nations were young and developing rapidly is no longer accurate, according to Gunter Mayhold. Additionally, they are currently gaining increasing authority and clout globally. The countries of South Africa, Brazil, Russia, India, and China aspire to be recognized as the voice of the global South. Their objective is to offer a different strategy to the G7, a group of leaders from the most advanced economies in the world. In the meanwhile, Germany, France, the United Kingdom, Italy, Japan, Canada, the United States, and the European Union are members of the G7, a forum that was established in 1975. In 2001, Jim O'Neill, the chief economist at Goldman Sachs, coined the phrase BRIC. Brazil, Russia, India, and China were the original members of the BRIC group. These nations were categorized as BRICS because of their robust economic growth and indications of hope for the future of the global economy. Some objected to the moniker, claiming that Goldman Sachs was only using it as a marketing tactic and that the countries were too different to be merged in this fashion. Similar to the G7, it started out as a means of luring investors but has since developed into a platform for global cooperation. In 2009, the first summit took place in Yekaterinburg, Russia, with just 4 countries in attendance. Nevertheless, the S was added to BRICS in 2010 when South Africa was admitted into the organization. The new development bank was founded in 2014 by the BRICS nations, with a $50 billion, or €46 billion, starting investment. This action was taken as a substitute for the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. Additionally, they created the Contingent Reserve Arrangement, a tool to assist members who are having trouble making their payments financially. The offerings of the BRICS countries were attractive to many developing and rising economies. The economic measures and structural adjustment programs implemented by the IMF had caused them suffering. They were inspired to join the BRICS organization by this. The offers appealed to other nations with comparable problems in addition to the BRICS members. In addition, new members can now join the BRICS Bank. Although Bangladesh, Uruguay, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, and Uruguay became shareholders last year, their investments were far smaller than those of the founding members, who contributed $10 billion. Global interest in BRICS has been reported by Naledi Pandor, the Foreign Minister of South Africa. She said that she has received 12 letters from different countries showing interest in the group during a recent TV interview. Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Algeria, Mexico, and Nigeria are a few of the nations. She said that after establishing the loan requirements, they would decide. The BRICS member countries' recent economic growth deviates from the initial principles upon which the group was established. China is the only one of the 5 members that have had consistent, significant growth. China's GDP tripled from $6 trillion in 2010 to nearly $18 trillion in 2021, whereas Russia, South Africa, and Brazil's economies have stayed stagnant. India's GDP grew from $1.7 trillion to $3.1 trillion, while China's expansion eclipsed India's. The BRICS nations have further separated from the West since the start of the Russian war in Ukraine. China, South Africa, Brazil, India, and South Africa are not party to the sanctions against Russia. Brazil substantially depends on Russian fertilizer, which makes this evident given the high trade levels between Russia and India. Russia and the West have become increasingly divided as a result of the conflict in Ukraine, according to a study published last year by University of Sheffield political scientist Matthew Bishop. Because of this, some US and European authorities are worried that the BRICS may become a political group that supports authoritarian nationalism. Additionally, Mayhold concurs from the German Institute for International and Security Affairs. According to him, the BRICS alliance is a forum for the advancement of autonomous and self-governing ideals rather than a means of resisting the West. According to him, Brazil, India, and South Africa are just vying for better circumstances in a world ruled by 2 superpowers. China, however, is using this forum to further its aspirations for international politics. Mayhold gave two examples: China's attempts to resolve the crisis in Ukraine and its combined military exercises with Russia in South Africa. In his opinion, the West has acknowledged this change and is acting to address it. According to Mayhold, the West is closely monitoring the circumstances. He added that South Africa and India had been invited especially to the G7 meeting in Germany the following year so as not to give the impression that they were against BRICS. In addition, the BRICS countries are expanding to include the PEACs, which stands for their next stage of development. With the expression of interest from several major developing economies, including Argentina, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Algeria, in joining the BRICS Club, China's BRICS Plus initiative gained impetus in 2022. The BRICS nations have promised to look into membership expansion and set requirements. A candidate's place in its region, shared ideals with the BRICS, and even representation from each developing world region may be among these requirements. A second wave of BRICS economies, comprising Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, Pakistan, Egypt, Argentina, and Kazakhstan, may result from this. Under the BRICS Plus approach, this group, known as PEACs or in-PEACs, may collaborate closely with the main BRICS group. Even if Pakistan does not take part in BRICS Plus formats, it should be included based on its support and consistent criterion-setting approach. Promoting the growth of other emerging countries' financial systems as well as the new BRICS is the aim. Before enlarging the BRICS core, several BRICS Plus cycles are required to strengthen the bonds between the BRICS and their partners. Greater economic cooperation is made possible by cooperation among members of regional organizations that the BRICS countries are a part of. This strategy is more inclusive. By combining the PEACs and BEAMS methodologies, emerging powers can better align with the BRICS and contribute to the expansion of the world economy. There is a rare chance for the Global South to collaborate and make an effect on the global scene with the emergence of the African Union and the growth of China and India. The five-nation BRICS organization has extended an invitation to join the bloc, to OPEC heavyweights Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Iran, as well as to Argentina, Egypt, and Ethiopia. President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa stated, "We value the interest of other countries in building a partnership with BRICS," and added that more expansions will come when the core nations have decided on membership requirements. The addition of Iran and Saudi Arabia, two of the largest oil-producing nations outside of the United States, comes after Beijing mediated this year's rehabilitation of relations between Riyadh and Tehran. India was hesitant to join BRICS at first, but Prime Minister Narendra Modi eventually became receptive to the notion. It is noteworthy that among India's strategic defense allies are the United Arab Emirates and Egypt. Putin spoke via video link from the Kremlin, saying, "I want to assure all my colleagues that we will continue what we started, expanding BRICS influence in the world." Putin urged the group to establish new economic resolution mechanisms and strengthen its economic relations by establishing a unified currency. Given that Russia was cut off from the US dollar-dominated global financial systems as a result of its war in Ukraine, that seems like a calculated move on Putin's behalf. What do you think of the BRICS initiative to create a new global order and its expansion? Let me know down below. If you want to continue to learn about business investing and financial education, we have got this video waiting on the screen for you to check out. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.